Ah, December. What a lovely month. It's the official time of the holiday season, despite what Walmart has been telling you since, I don't know, October. No, seriously, me and my girlfriend were at Walmart one time and we saw like Christmas trees just like hanging out in the front of the store. Like it's Halloween time, motherfuckers. Get the fuck out. Anyways, what am I doing? Oh, right. So, yeah, it's Christmas time. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, well, it's still the holiday season. And if you don't celebrate any of the holidays, well, then shut the fuck up and let me explain this video. So, I've been meaning to do some sort of holiday, I don't know, special for all of y'all for a long time, but I could never really figure out what I want to do. I was like, well, I guess I could do something like a Christmas commercial special thing, but that was boring. And then I thought, oh, why not mascots? And I was like, nah, I don't have enough furry viewers. And then I finally came up with the idea of just talking about canceled video games and video game consoles and anything that was just Japan exclusive or it only came out around one region or something like that. The things that were never given to us for Christmas on the holidays or whatever. I mean, whatever the fuck. Look, listen, this is clearly a Christmas special. Let's not dance around it, okay? I'm just trying to be inclusive. Anyways, for these next 25 days, yes, I know I've missed a couple of days already. Give me a fucking break. I just came up with this idea 2 hours ago. I'll be making quick little videos based on the things we gamer girls missed out on during the holiday season, starting with my favorite Japanese exclusive failure, the 64DD. What is the 64DD? Well, it was Nintendo's death throes against Sony that came too little, too late. See, it all started in 1995. Nintendo was practically at the mercy of Sony, and yes, I know a lot of you Nintendo fanboys like to think differently, but in the 90s, there was far more interest in Sony's PlayStation than there was for the Nintendo 64. Sony had a head start in the race too, releasing 2 years earlier in Japan than Nintendo 64 did. With their head start, Sony quickly became a scary force to be reckoned with for Nintendo, and they knew the brand recognition alone was not going to win over everyone immediately. I mean, look at this baby. It's a CD. Let me tell you, me owning a console that uses CDs as a kid made me feel like a fucking man. Cartridges were just outdated, even at this point in time. Plus, they were costly to develop for and difficult to make. This kind of got Nintendo worried, and they knew they had to come up with something, a quick fix, if you will. Enter the 64DD's announcement. A whole year before the Nintendo 64 actually came out, Nintendo already had a peripheral in mind that was allegedly going to knock the socks off of PlayStation. And around the holiday season of 1996, a few months after the Nintendo 64's release, in fact. Granted, while it wasn't going to bring the Nintendo 64 up to speed technically speaking, it was incredibly innovative. It was supposed to make all the games bigger and better. It was supposed to allow gamers to update their cartridges whenever they wanted to by the simple fact that the DD was connected to the internet. Not only that, but it featured other things as well, such as content sharing, online interactions with people, online services such as email, chat rooms, online play, all thanks to RadNet. I don't know what the fuck. Which was a special collaboration between Nintendo and Sento Giga, who they've worked for before, but we'll talk about that another day. Oh, but it doesn't end there. Countless awesome games were also coming to the Nintendo 64 DD. Games like Super Mario 64 2, Fire Emblem 64, Earthbound 64, Zelda 64, god damn it, why do you have to all name Kirby 64, and motherfucking Final Fantasy 7 was supposed to come out for this bitch. But of course, you know, that never happened. I'm not even done talking about the features that this was supposed to come out with. So let me just briefly lightning round this shit, because there's a lot, okay? Okay, so spectator mode, watch other people play online. E-commerce, shop for shit online. Online magazine, read the hottest shit from Nintendo. Beta testing, play levels from games that have yet to come out. Music distribution, listen to music on the DD, sometimes even songs that haven't even been released yet. Holy shit. Message boards, and of course, surf the goddamn web. I mean, sheesh. Yeah, I guess in today's standards, it's not really too impressive. But this was the fucking 90s, 95 even. This was all being announced during that time. The majority of people in the United States didn't even own computers at the time, so they couldn't even do this shit. But hell, the 64DD apparently can. So I'm sure with all these exciting promises that even the PlayStation couldn't accomplish, this thing must have sold like hotcakes, right? Well, no. I mean, obviously not. You're watching this video, for fuck's sake. The thing is, the 64DD didn't release in 1996 as Nintendo had promised. It was released 4 years after their initial announcement. 1999, and by this point, PlayStation 2 was already announced, and the Dreamcast was also released around the end of 1999. So it was a major misstep for Nintendo strategically, but what really hurt the consumer's interest was the sheer roundabout way of purchasing the fucking thing. You needed to mail order this sucker in, but not only that, you had to pay a monthly fee of $25 for the next 12 months, a total Grand Slam purchase of $300, which I guess if you're paying for 12 months is more digestible of a price. And admittedly, the starter kit this came with also was packaged with quite a few things. Not only did you get the 64DD, but you'd also get 6 games bi-monthly, a year of internet service, and a buttload of other things. So I guess that's fine, but like I said before, other consoles were just over the horizon, so barely any consumer was really interested in this thing. Not only that, but the games that came out were honestly not too exciting, save for maybe F-Zero's expansion and a few other tiny notable mentions, but that's about it. The real premature death to this 64DD project was the fact that Nintendo announced the GameCube just several months later. Like about 9 months later, in fact. In the end, aside from the innovation that the online services brought in with the 64DD, there wasn't honestly anything too grandiose about it. All the games that were announced for the 64DD, all the ones that were worthwhile anyways, were already on the base console. Without the use of the 64DD, everyone knew that this hardware was outdated. Consumers were just too smart to get suckered in. Sure, it was attractive at first, but 4 years after being announced, barely anyone cared about it. Nowadays, it's just a collector's item, and I guess it's getting more love more than it is back then. I guess that's kind of tragic in a way. Oh well.